I've been asked by a couple of ladies, how do I make my caps so flat and square versus this pointy part? And it's actually the same cap, it just has to be fixed. So it's kind of squished down like this. And I'll show you how it's done. You need, make sure when you cut your tail after you make your cap, make it a little extra long, because you have to sew your cap on first, obviously, and then I always put a little bit of stuffing in it to give it a little body, but then also it causes it to do that. You can push it down, but it will slowly come back up whether you like it or not. So what I do is I use some thread. I don't want to make it too large because it might be difficult to see, but I don't want it too short either. Okay, so once I've got it done, get the fizz out of the way, put the yarn up through your work to the top, like right up there in the top somewhere. Now this part you don't want to pull tight. After you put your yarn through, you go back in again and go off to the other side. So when you pull it, you don't want to pull it super tight. You want it to have it to where the cap lays as flat as you want the cap to lay. Now see how this is laying a little flatter on this side? See, I pulled it a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to go to the other side where your thread comes out. Go back in. Go back through the top of the cap, keeping this loose because, like I said, you don't want to pull it tight. And it pokes up a little bit there, so naturally we're going to tighten it down a little. I will go ahead and put it through and bring it over to the other side. And you'll watch when I pull it how it will, where's my tail? See, if you pull too much, it pulls it down and you don't want it to pull down. So make sure it stays up a little bit. You kind of have to play with it a little also to make it where you want it. That's pretty good right there. Okay, and then I still got one more side because see, it's kind of humpy here too. So I'll put a third one in. 2 or 3 is all you need. I'm going to put this one closer to the wick itself. And don't want to pull tight because then they'll pull this one tight. And I think I did. I actually pulled it a little bit too tight. So there, fluff it up a bit. Now go in. This will be the last one. See how nice and flat it lays? And then of course you can squish it around a little bit too. But it gives it that flat look, so now both caps look the same. So that's the way the cap works. And then you want to do a couple of back stitches. You don't want it in the color itself, you want it in the cap color. So since I got a little bit into the brown right there, I need to get it out of the brown. Okay, so then you do a little back stitch, a second back stitch. I do usually 2 or 3 of them. And just kind of go through the little bit of the yarn itself. Then trim it. Now your earth bomb is done. Now here I accidentally sewed it a little further in than I should have. It should have been more on this area, but it just gives it character. But that's how you flatten your wick or your cap so it looks more like a cap versus a rocket ship. Thank you for watching.